I launched a product that I was so excited about, but only to get 0 sales at first. That moment could have been the end of my product launch, but instead it was the beginning of my biggest breakthrough yet. Using my 7-part roadmap, I easily turned that quiet launch into $32,000. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact marketing roadmap that I used to make that happen. And whether you're brand new or you've been in the game for a while, this can work for you too in your niche. Part 7 of the roadmap truly is like a gas to the flame, so stick around to the end because you won't want to miss it. And to take this a step further, I also created a video training course that walks you through the roadmap more in depth. Just comment, give me the code below, and I'll send you an exclusive link for 30% off. So phase 1 of the roadmap is to connect with your core. This is more than just about fluffy, positive thinking, boosting your ego, or doing whatever feels good without a plan. It's about clarity in your vision, because without that, even the best strategies will lead nowhere. It's kind of like trying to build something without a foundation. And so to do this, you must become activated. And think of it like a launch. It's like you're launching, and so you have to let go of baggage and weight that's no longer serving you. So ask yourself, what external elements in my business or life are holding me back and need to be released? This can be things that you are putting your time and energy towards that no longer serve you. It could be limiting beliefs or bad habits. Those need to be identified and released. And that will leave room for the second part, which is what is the vision, mindset, and habits that you're now going to commit to? I'm telling you, when you get clear on these things, you're going to feel so activated, and the rest of this roadmap is going to feel like a breeze. So moving on to step number 2 of the roadmap, you must clarify your dream clients. Even if you've done this before, this is a step that you constantly need to revisit over and over again. When I had a $0 launch, I returned to this step, and it helped me to get so much clarity, and it helped me to refine my messaging and my offer to earn $32,000. Now, to do this, I love the analogy of Hell and Heaven Island. So imagine that the person who you want to serve is on this place called Hell Island. This island is full of their deepest problems and pains. And so to reach these people, you have to become crystal clear on the who. If you try to reach everyone, you end up reaching no one. So let's say, for example, that your niche is weight loss. If you try to help everyone in the world who's trying to lose weight, then you're not going to get as much traction as if you focus in on one particular individual. So let's say that you get clear on mothers in a certain age range who want to lose weight. So from there, you're going to get clear on the demographics, things like age, gender, ethnicity, marital status, the list goes on, and then also psychographics. This includes their mindset, attitudes, beliefs, and values. Once you're clear on that, it's much easier to speak directly to those people and to have a successful product launch. Once you know the who, then you can get even clearer on the problems. So mothers in this case, they're going to be concerned about, how they appear to their husbands. They're going to wish that they can fit into outfits that they used to be able to fit into before they were mothers. And so you see how you can be more specific on the problems and how your content and your marketing material can be more specific and how it could feel like it's speaking directly to someone. Another thing as well is you want to get clear on the Heaven Island. So where do these people want to go? What are their deepest desires? What is their dream life? Once you're clear on this, then it'll be much easier to have a successful product launch. And if you want, I created a free worksheet that dives into details on the Hell and the Heaven Island to help you clarify your dream clients. Just comment down below, give me the worksheet, and I'll send that over to you. Once you're clear on your dream clients, the third step is to create or repair offers. I say create or repair because Maybe you're creating new products from scratch, or maybe you already have offers, but you just need to adjust them. This is what I needed to do in my case. I needed to repair my existing offers because they weren't aligned with the person on that hell island who I was trying to reach. And so when it comes to this, you first need to see yourself as the guide. You are the guide leading people from hell to heaven island, and you built a bridge. And so you need to become clear on what steps you're guiding people to. Because when people can see steps or some type of framework or process, they're going to trust you more as the guide and trust that that bridge that you built can actually take them to where they want to go. So my 7-part roadmap is an example of a bridge that I built. Maybe in your niche, you can come up with a framework. And I encourage you to come up with some type of graphic because this will help people to visually see how you help them get from hell to heaven island. And so when it comes to creating or repairing offers, oftentimes people are just missing this framework. And also think of the positioning of your offer. So when I had my offer that resulted in $0, it was a 30-day boot camp. And I realized after doing research that the people on this hell island of mine, 30 days didn't seem like enough time for them. The process seemed really rushed. And so I adjusted my offer. I repaired it so that it was a 6-month boot camp. And the people on that hell island felt much better getting on that bridge. What I also did was on my offer landing page, I made some adjustments. So before, it was just a checkout page for hundreds of dollars, but my avatar on Hell Island was reluctant to take that step because they needed more value first. And so what I did was I changed it from a checkout page for hundreds of dollars to an application process. And then I also created a new free offer, which was a 1-hour free Zoom event that guided people through my 7-part roadmap that gave them more of a taste of my bridge to Heaven Island. And that's where the $32,000 came from. And so what you can do is maybe you need to adjust your offer. Maybe you can add some bonuses, adjust the pricing, change the process that people actually come on the bridge to. So maybe they buy directly, sign up for free. Maybe there's an application process. And what you can also do as well is when it comes to creating offers, some people wait until a whole course is filmed or until the product is completely finished. However, what you could also do is you can pre-sell and do a drip style course. That's exactly what I did when I made this a 6-month program, is I did a drip style course. That way, I didn't need to wait before I got sales for this offer. Once people were in the door, then I told them, okay, every week from now, I'm going to be releasing a new lesson. This is how often we're going to meet on Zoom. And this is something that you can do as well so that you can actually earn money from your offers before they're fully complete. Step number 4 of this process is to capture aligned leads. So when it comes to capturing aligned leads, I encourage you to find a software program that allows you to communicate the value of your offers. I really recommend the tool of Kajabi because it's like a business in a box, and you can offer freebies, you can offer a community, you can make landing pages, checkout pages, you can have email sequences. And when you have a tool like that, it's going to be much easier to capture aligned leads for your offers. Another thing that I encourage you to consider when it comes to capturing aligned leads is that funnel process. I mentioned this in the last step, but before, what I was trying to do was get people straight from YouTube content to paying hundreds of dollars. And so try to think, maybe you need to add another step in your process to capture aligned leads. Maybe you first need to have a free offer that's kind of like a free sample, just to give people a taste before they fully commit. And this is something that often requires in-depth feedback with. So having someone there to review your landing pages and your offers can help you have a successful product launch. So if you're interested, I'm happy to help you with that process. You can check our gold tier using the link below to explore how we can help you throughout this process and with capturing aligned leads with your funnels. But moving on to step number 5 of this process, you want to create consistent quality content. This is where many people fall off the horse. I've heard so many times of people maybe only posting 2 to 3 times, and then they hear crickets and they just throw up their hands and quit. They think it's a failed launch, but you have to keep posting content because basic sales psychology says that people just need to be made constantly aware of your offer before they say yes. It's like, have you ever experienced this before where you see a commercial many times before you finally say yes to it? It's very rare that on the very first commercial you will say yes to an offer. So you need to stay consistent. It was after 2 to 3 weeks that I still had $0 in sales. And so instead of quitting, I adjusted my approach. I adjusted the offer. I adjusted the landing page. I added in that free event. And so you need to pivot. And when you pivot, you still need to stay consistent with content. So I encourage you to come up with an ongoing marketing plan. So here's a list right here of all the different marketing avenues that you can take. Feel free to take a screenshot of this, but I encourage you not to do all of them, but try to pick 2 to 3 different avenues where you constantly make people aware of your offer. In my case, the main platforms that I used were YouTube, so I posted long-form videos, I posted in the community tab on YouTube. I also tapped into my email list, and I tapped into Facebook. Those are my main marketing platforms. So pick the ones that make the most sense to you and try to think of where you currently have leverage and where your target audience currently is hanging out. If you don't have any audience, you don't have any traffic, then that's where you can tap into cold messaging, or you could even go into Facebook groups, or maybe you know of people in your warm network who you can reach out to who are a good fit. But if you already have an audience, then tap into what you already have. One of my favorites personally is YouTube because the videos on there are evergreen. And imagine having a video that you posted weeks or months ago continuing to get views that lead to sales. If you post videos with clear calls to actions and you have links down below, truly YouTube can become like a money-making machine. This is what I specialize in, YouTube organic marketing. And so if you would like to learn more, just leave a comment down below and I'm happy to hear about where you are so that I can guide you towards the best steps that make sense for you. But once you commit to consistent quality content, then the next phase of the roadmap is to close sales with confidence. Now, there are ways that you can close sales automatically without you needing to be there, or you can hop on sales calls. And so what I like to do is whenever I have people download a freebie from my YouTube videos or anywhere else, there is an automatic email sequence that makes them aware of my paid offers, whether it's my course or my group coaching or my one-on-one services. And so this is a great way to make sales on autopilot. When it comes to higher ticket stuff, then you can close sales with confidence on calls. And so I mentioned before how when I had a failed product launch with $0, I had that free event. And during that free event, I gave so much value with my 7-part roadmap. And then after the free event, I told people if they would like my assistance going through the roadmap to book a call with us. And so we shared a calendar link and many people booked a call. And then from there, that's where we got $32,000 in sales because many people committed to the 6-month program. And then there were a few individuals who wanted one-on-one or done-for-you support. They wanted help setting up paid ads on YouTube. They wanted help getting their funnel set up, so they wanted us to do that for them. And so that's where that came from. And so we were able to close sales with confidence, not by being pushy, but by really being present with the people on those Zoom calls, hearing what they needed, where they were on that hell island, and we just told them what we had. And it wasn't pushy, it was out of service because our bridge to Heaven Island was the perfect solution. And so when you're really present with people and you see them for where they are and you truly have a desire in your heart to help them, sales becomes really natural. It's not even like selling, it's service, because you know that if they don't take your bridge, they might spend money on another guide who built a bridge to Heaven Island who doesn't serve with integrity, or they can be on Hell Island forever. And so it's really hard to even put a dollar amount to that, because depending on your niche, the transformation that you provide is priceless. People can have a miserable life forever without your guidance. So it truly is a service. And of course, like, don't offer your services to people who aren't a good fit, because then otherwise you're not being a guide who serves with integrity. I've seen that before, and it always gets under my skin when people try to sell people into something when they're not even a good fit for it. So moving on to part number 7 of the roadmap. This is where you can contribute, and you do that by onboarding and delivering on your promise. Now, I mentioned that there's an aspect of step 7 that's like a gas to the flame. So congrats on staying into the end, because you are going to hear it. But the first step here is when people say yes to your bridge on Heaven Island, this is where you fulfill your promise. So it's not end of the day, hooray, I got paid. No, it's just the beginning. Now you actually have to guide them through your bridge, and to guide them through until they get to Heaven Island. And so when people say yes, deliver on your promise, whatever it was, give them the material that they asked for, and give good customer support as well. If people are having trouble accessing the material that you provide, or they're just struggling getting to Heaven Island, be there for them. Be a guide who serves with integrity, because that's where you're going to get good testimonials, good case studies, and you could talk about that in your YouTube content or in your paid ads, whatever you're using, and it's going to help more people to trust you. Good onboarding is really important. So when people say yes, imagine someone just pays hundreds or thousands of dollars. You want to give them a good first experience. So set the expectations, give them the materials, and make sure they have everything that they need to take the next steps forward. There's nothing worse than spending thousands of dollars on something only to get no confirmation email, no material, no thank you. It's not a good experience, and it can actually lead to a lot of refunds and people canceling the service. Once you onboard and you deliver on your promise, the gas to the flame part is scaling with paid ads. Because if you had a successful product launch and you've confirmed that, okay, the people on Hell Island actually could use this paid product to get to Heaven Island, and it works, you've tested it, you know that this is something that's helpful, then putting paid ads into it can amplify what's already working. But you don't want to do paid ads too soon. Imagine if I put paid ads into my 0 product launch. So imagine if I put paid ads into that 30-day bootcamp. Well, it would have been a waste of money, because nobody wanted it. It wouldn't have been helpful. 30 days would have felt too rushed. And so that's why you want to test things organically, get feedback, do market research, and put paid ads into something that's already working. And then once you have that and you're scaled, then you can actually give back and contribute. And so when I scaled my business, I started my Philanthropy Creators for Change. And so we help the next generation to use their voice, their creativity, and social media for good causes. And we really amplify their leadership. And so it's more than just content creation. It's about really awakening the next generation about what's possible for them, and just helping them to be the change that they wish to see in the world. And so to get there, we need to raise the collective consciousness and not have our phones and social media be something that lowers people's mental abilities and their mental health. And so that's the power in this roadmap. It's not just a roadmap to a successful product launch. This is a roadmap to the change that you wish to see in the world. If you are a purpose-driven entrepreneur or creator, this is the map. This is what's going to get you to your dreams and to helping you become that global leader, that well-known person in your niche who I know that you just crave to be, not because you're selfish and you just want attention for you, but because you know that it's what you're made for. That's why you came to Earth, to really fulfill this mission. And if you're still listening, I know that this is resonating. And so I hope that this video helped you see that a quiet product launch doesn't mean that it failed. It just means that you're on the verge of a breakthrough. So don't give up, because the best success stories didn't give up right here. They persisted until they got a good result. And I want this for you too. And so if you'd like our help, I know I mentioned our course, which is our silver tier. I mentioned our 6-month group program. And we also have custom one-on-one and done-for-you support. These 3 tiers are outlined on the page down below, so you can check that out. And if you have any questions about it, you can leave a comment here on YouTube, or there is a place on that page where you can ask us questions, because we want you coming in comfortably and confidently. We're not just here to help you create a lucrative business. We're here to help you fulfill your higher mission and your higher purpose. And it'll be our honor to help you get there through our 7-part roadmap. Leave a comment letting us know your biggest takeaway. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you for the next video.